It's tool time again. Thanks to the Home Depot Seeds program, we're looking at the Milwaukee 7-piece metric Flex Head Ratcheting combination wrench set. This is model number 48-22-9529. Then they built a really cool display blister pack, which allows you to ratchet the head so you get a feel for what it really does and that it flexes. But as you know, the hardest part about this kit is getting past the blister. Once freed from the blister pack, you have a carrying handle. So if you like jogging down the street carrying all your wrenches, this will do nicely. It's got a little door that pops open, giving you access to the wrenches. Let's see. Looks like all we have to do is insert this way and drop down, close, and la-di-da. I can walk around the neighborhood offering to fix things. Nice, I guess. I'm noticing it doesn't have, like, let's say I wanted to just cut that off and, put this up on the wall, right? That'd be kind of nice. There's no mounting screws. I guess I could maybe drill some holes in here and do that, because I think that might be more useful than just carrying it around. I think most of us keep our tools in the garage, and we have projects in the garage. So I don't know about how innovative this case is. All right, but we're not here really to test the case. Well, what tools do we get? We get 8mm 10, so we skip a 9, we skip an 11, we got a 12, a 13, a 14, a 15, skip 16, and on to 17. Each one has the Milwaukee brand on it, and they've numbered it. It's inked, though the ink is black, and I would have preferred maybe white or yellow so it really stands out, because not all workspaces are brightly lit. Nice Milwaukee there. I-beam. The chrome is not as shiny as I thought it would be. I'm going to compare that to this tool here, and yeah, it's kind of a duller chrome. It's 144 positions, which is not to be confused with a ratchet that has 144 positions, because in this one, if we turn, I don't know if you can hear it. See, that's your arc. I think this has like a 1 degree arc, 1.5 degrees. So if you can only move the ratchet that much, you can accomplish some work. This has 144 positions, but where's that little toy that we just had out? Okay, here we go. Oh, actually, that's a lot better than what I was feeling originally when it was just on the side of the blister pack. Oh, that is nice and fine. So that 144 is equivalent to the 144 you'd have on a really nice ratchet set. And let's try a smaller one. $144. So what that means is that if you're in a very tight spot and you only have a little bit of movement, you can do work with this. Whereas if you're with a regular ratchet. Let's pull one out. This one I believe is like 71, so it's more like 5 degrees. So you see, you have to do that much work before, you need that much of an arc before you can do some work. Whereas, you see, each one of those clicks is all, one click is all you need to start doing some work. These are nice. It says in the packaging, it says it's 2.5 arc swing. So that's a very nice feature. The flex head is 90 to slightly over 90. So you can be working almost 91 degrees off the head if you can actually get it to turn. So the nice thing about having a ratchet on a wrench is that all of these are ratchet, as opposed to going in here and just, you know, swapping out a socket for each one. You could have all these in there and you can be working with them together. So that's a nice flexibility to have. Let me find here. Kind of a duller sun. So here's the Milwaukee. Here's the truck version. And here's the old crafty one. That sounds really thick and meaty, right? Let's get this big one. Kind of dull sounding. I don't know if that means anything quality-wise. They are just a duller looking tool, that's for sure, compared to some of the other brands. But I am impressed with the ratchet. I really like that. Now, here they have this thing that they called MaxBite, which is supposedly going to give you 25% more torque. And it's just got, instead of being boxed like this, which is parallel on two sides and slightly concave, this one has little teeth in it, and you have, instead of the concave, it has a place where the bolt could actually catch. So theoretically, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 places of contact. Should something slip, it could possibly get into one of these grooves and make a contact. So I guess in theory it could provide some more torque. Let's play with this on the car and see what it feels like. Here's a 10mm bolt, and it's easy to break loose, and it's easy to tighten. There's a little bit of flex in the head when you're actually torquing, but it's not much. It's probably normal because, of course, this is a flex head. So I think it's great for situations where you need to get in tight, like most wrench sets. They'll let you get into tight places because they're nice and thin. The advantage, of course, with this one is that you can ratchet something on or off without having to come out each time. The advantage over a socket set is, you see how the socket, wrench, and drive just take up so much space, and that can become problematic for you. And while a regular wrench will fit, each time you do a turn, you have to reset and do it again. And if you come in with this side that locks all the way around, you still have the same problem that once you turn, you have to reset. So the ratchet eliminates that, and the flex head lets you get away. Like, for example, on this wrench, the angle's defined, that it's away. If you look, you see that the head is turned there. So that gives you a bit of distance that your hands can physically be away from the work area so that you can apply your torque. And with the flex head, you can actually move your hands away from the work area while still staying on the fastener. The Flex Head Ratchet wrench is sort of the go-between a regular wrench and a socket set, in that, while this one allows you to get in and turn a fastener with either a closed or an open end, this tool gives you a closed end and an open end, plus it gives you the ability to ratchet, so you don't have to reset each time you want to do a turn. Add to that the ability to flex the head, whereas with this tool, the flex is set at a certain degree. On this one, I can go up to 90 degrees. How much of that will be useful? Because with torquing, who's to say? Then you have the socket set, which has the flexibility of the ratchet because it is a ratchet set. But this has the problem of thickness. If you're trying to get into a tight space, this is by far the better tool. The disadvantage with this tool is, well, because there's a flex head here and you have a pin that's going through for the flex head, that's going to be your Achilles heel, because basically you have a pin that is taking on all that torque and force and transferring to here, right? And so if anything's going to fail, it's going to happen here, whereas with a regular wrench, it's just solid, right? Both ends are solid. With the socket set, your weak point would be the wall or maybe the cams, the paws in the ratchet. By the way, this has double paws, so theoretically it's twice as durable as this, but we can't prove that. So what we can see and test is the fact that this gives you a nice compromise between these two tools. You need to get in someplace that's tight. You're going in this direction. If you want to make the work a little easier, there's a lot of turning of the fastener, then this might be the tool for you. Unless you can get into the fastener face on, then there are other tools, drivers, electric drivers, battery drivers that you might want to consider. But if you're trying to get into fairly tight, automotive work, tight areas, these are going to be your go-to tools. If you got a little bit more room, the ratcheting ability and the ability to apply additional torque because you have a longer handle than you do with these could come in handy. You're limited to the amount of torque you can apply by the length of the shaft. And obviously, I could attach a small socket to a much longer ratchet drive, and that would give me even more torque. As a standalone tool, it's nice features. The numbers are easy to see. I can instantly tell that this is 10 millimeter, though I would have preferred white or yellow paint. The ratcheting at 144 is sweet, is all I can say. That is great because that just gives you a lot of flexibility for turning. Speaking of turning, the flex head in either direction works nicely. And of course, you have a standard open end, which has additional places to catch a fastener so that you can apply even more torque. And of course, there's the innovative carrying handle so that you can walk around the neighborhood. But no, seriously, I would cut the handle off, mount that on the wall there, and have my tools ready to be used by simply opening the door. So at the end of it all, would I buy this set? Well, I certainly would if I needed the ratcheting capabilities in a wrench set and I couldn't get by with my socket set. Again, you know, this is nice and thin, so it definitely could get into a lot of areas. So if you're working on an engine or places that are, you know, a socket set can prove to be difficult to work with, this might be the tool for you. The Flex Head just makes it that much easier to work with because it gives you more flexibility in how you can attack a fastener. You have the open end which can apply additional torque because of the more cuts that are in it. The tools are labeled. I don't find them as shiny as some of the other ones, but you know, at the end of the day, it's all about function and how well they work and don't work. And these do come with a lifetime guarantee. If something should go wrong with it, you snap a picture, you send it to them, they send you out a replacement part, which is sweet. You don't have to go to the store and hassle with someone who doesn't know the policy. You're dealing direct with Milwaukee, which is probably the way it should be. If you found this video interesting or useful, give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment, join the subscription team, and as always, thank you ever so much for watching.